lovely to begin our time together with Chopin. Welcome, everyone, to our first in-person service together in far too long a time. Wonderful to see each other's faces back here in our precious Wiat land. Someone has called how it feels to be gathered again together collective effervescence. And that's how I feel this morning, a little bubbly. Let's begin our time together, as is our tradition, by lighting the chalice. You're still here after all this time. Come into this place. Study stillness and joy. Know your belovedness like a memory calling out from the center of your being, connecting every little piece of everything to everyone and all of us. Feel here gratitude rising and praise for this chance to begin again with hope. You still remember the aspiration?
Say it every
Commit to
Sunday.
it together. Let's give it a try. May love be the spirit of this fellowship.
May the quest for truth be its sacrament, and service be its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, and to help one another in fellowship. This is our aspiration.
Good job. Good job.
I didn't know I knew that.
You had to come back.
I usually work.
Today's joys and sorrows is going to be a little different today. I want you to think of a word that is capturing how you feel right now. And in a moment, we're going to say it together into the universe. Got your word ready? Joy! Surprise! Nice work. Nice work. Okay. Now take a minute to tune into your body, how your body's feeling. We're going to do a body scan, grounding mindfulness to start our discussion. Take a second to wiggle now into your seat, finding a comfortable yet well-postured position you know. I invite you to close your eyes. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can find a place to stare at the ground if you'd like. Now, take a deep breath and hold it at the top for a few seconds. Releasing very slowly, about twice as long as your in-breath was. Take about 3 more breaths in this fashion. Now there is no longer any need to control your breath in any manner. Just notice your breath. We can notice our breath in a few different places. We can notice the air entering and exiting our nostrils. We can notice the expansion and contraction of our rib cage, or we can notice the in and out rhythm of our belly. Let's bring our awareness to the top of our head, noticing any sensations or temperature. Let your awareness move through your head and face, down into your neck and shoulders. We tend to hold a lot of tension here. Kindly notice any sensation that may arise. Let your awareness move down your spine, Notice where your body makes contact with the chair. How the chair supports you. You are supported. Notice your chest and torso and any sensations that may arise internally. Bring your awareness to your hands. No need to move them in any way, just noticing. Notice what they are touching. Notice the texture and sensations of whatever they are touching. They may be touching one another or your lap. Notice the connection. You are connected. Let your awareness continue to move through your body, through your pelvis, into your legs, noticing sensations, thighs, knees, calves, and ankles. Bring your attention down to the tops of your feet. Wiggle your toes and then stretch them, and with intention, bring them back to the ground, noticing the connection that the soles of your feet have with the ground. You are grounded. You are supported, connected, and grounded. Go ahead and bring your connection. Bring your awareness back to your breath. We are going to start bringing our awareness back to the external world. First, by noticing the sounds around us. Did you hear those birds? And next, we are going to softly open our eyes, noticing the colors and shapes around us. Please take a few minutes to look around at your own pace before coming back into presence with your group. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's time now. There's some in the front row, Colleen.
Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for bearing with us on our hybrid tech service. And now we have reached the part of our lovely service where we are going to go over our discussion of gratitude and especially what it means to have this gratitude during a pandemic. Something that is also really important here that we just wanted to go over were a couple guidelines. So allow me to just share with you those guidelines real quick. Okay. I'm Scarlett Tripsmith, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, and this is hopefully the point of this part of the service is just to kind of really be there for each other and trying to experience the warmth of gratitude here in our own homes and the connection to our fellowship here on this beautiful Sunday morning, wherever we are. So, for our discussion guidelines, when you are not speaking, please mute yourself to avoid any background noise. However, when you want to speak, please feel free to unmute yourself when there's a lull in the conversation, or if you don't feel comfortable with that, put a little smiley face in the chat, or like a 1 in the chat, and I'll know that you're the next person that wants to talk. So we're definitely gonna try and do a more open type of discussion here, and yeah, so please refrain from any crosstalk. This means commenting or giving advice on what anyone has shared, just kind of trying to be open and we're not here to solve anyone's problems. We are here to hold each other in
a beautiful setting of peace and comfort, and where we can all feel open to sharing. And with that, please respect the content that is shared with integrity. This means that we cannot guarantee confidentiality in this format, but please be thoughtful about what others say and respect it outside of this circle. Please don't talk about what others have said unless if you'd like to talk to them further about what they say, you can bring it up to them later by messaging them if you'd like. And we will likely resonate and agree with a lot of what other people are sharing in our discussion. So on our order, to keep order, the flow of deep listening, so to not interrupt our group discussion as a group, if you agree with somebody or if you're really vibing with what someone says, do a nonverbal gesture to kind of agree with them. I like the jazz hands. You can also put your hands on your heart in forms of condolence. So yeah, I'm very excited to get started with you guys today. So, okay, lovely. There's the fun parts of Zoom. Apparently I'm talking to everyone. Okay, well, I'm going to allow you guys to unmute yourselves and to get started on this first question. What is gratitude? And while I do that, I'm going to go fix what's going on outside. So I now give you guys the ability to unmute yourselves. What is gratitude? What does gratitude mean to you? If you want to go to gallery view so you can see everybody, awesome. And I'll be right back, but please feel free to unmute yourselves because you can.
Hi, everybody. We send greetings from Alaska, where we just got home yesterday. And the UU Tour of Alaska is a wonderful experience, for which we are very grateful. What are other people's things for which they are grateful?
We're grateful to be here.
Yeah. Did you unmute?
Wow, conversation's real lively up in here. All right, I'm really grateful for this beautiful place. But what does gratitude mean? What is gratitude? That was our first question. I feel like it's kind of hand in hand with thankful. You know, we're grateful, we're thankful, we have gratitude. I think it's just kind of like the appreciation of living. I don't know if anyone else has anything they'd like to say on top of that.
When we think about gratitude, we think about, or I should say, speak for myself. I think about the things I'm grateful for, just as you said, Scarlett. I count my blessings.
Thank you, Sue. Go ahead.
I've fought the word gratitude for probably most of my life because it usually goes with blessings and a variety of terminology that has got in my way. I now understand gratitude and can use the word. And for me, gratitude is all over my life, and particularly now. And sure, it's thankful, but it's in some funny kind of way, it's also unexpected to me. Gratitude has that quality of being unexpected.
Thank you, Jenny. All right, Birdie, what you got to say?
I think of gratitude as not taking anything for granted, to just to look at the world and everything in it in wonder and appreciation.
Is gratitude the same basis as gratis, like free?
The same root word.
Yeah. Something that happens and it's a good thing and you didn't necessarily do anything for it.
It's free. I like that.
I think you really pinned it with that.
Yeah.
That helps me put words around what I was just struggling to say, which didn't come out coherently at all. But that business of free and the wonder in the world, so that you're all, and curiosity, that all the stuff shows up free and for gratis, and you didn't do anything. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. That was a light bulb went off. Anyone else have what they think gratitude means to them that they'd like to share? Free of charge. That's right, Carol. All right, well, allow us to move on to our second question. And this question's a little bit less broad, so. What have you been most grateful for during this time of pandemic? Let's just sit with that question for a minute. What have you been most grateful for during the pandemic? What's up, Birdie? What have you been grateful for?
For the people who put their lives on the line to help everybody else. And that goes to all of the essential workers and different people in all kinds of life. But a lot of people put their own lives, and some of them lost it, on the line for the rest of us.
Yeah, go ahead, Sue. Or sorry, let's go Pat and Valerie and then Sue.
I definitely agree exactly with what Birdie was saying. But on a personal basis, something that I can tangibly feel, Zoom has really been it. It's helped me be connected with not only the fellowship, but also with intellectual pursuits and activism and music. So in our house, we've been able to do some of the same things that we would do ordinarily, but during this pandemic.
Sue, you had something to say?
Only I was agreeing with everybody.
I did.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Okay, Joe.
The people who scratched their heads so mightily and came up with a vaccine.
Yes.
I was going to say, jumping up with Pat and Valerie, actually I have to say right this minute, this has been one of the things that have given me the most gratitude and continue to do so through the pandemic. And I don't want to lose it. It's so profound to me, the fact that I have made and continue to make relationships in ways that I didn't have them before, and it wasn't possible to make them. And so it's the same thing, it's Zoom, but on the personal level, it's changed my life. So it's a big, big deal for me.
I'm in all agreement with all y'all. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Zoom, and I wouldn't still be in Humboldt and living in my house. And so, like, Zoom definitely really helped me with work and also with connecting with all of you guys who I'd been a part of the fellowship for like a year, and I didn't really get to meet you guys, and now I know you guys in such a different way now. I know your faces and I know your voices, and like it is a much different way, and I'm very, very grateful for it in the bizarre spectrum of ways. Chris, did you have something you wanted to say, or were you just reacting?
No, actually, there was something on my mind. When you're mentioning Zoom and how wonderful it is to meet people, I'm located in Appleton, Wisconsin. And I found you through time. And I see some familiar faces we've chatted in coffee time, or I think there was a program that we did with you. So it's so wonderful to be able to connect with everybody. And yeah, at first it was like, but you're way there and I'm way here. And does that make any sense? And I'm like, of course it does. And I've just been really enjoying from, well, I don't know, probably 1,300, 1,400 miles away.
Welcome, Chris.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Yeah, Christy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christy, and I'm visiting you from Spokane, Washington. I've watched a few things online. I was with you guys last week and was too shy. But Chris, thank you for opening up about how far away you are. Doesn't matter. But I'm considering coming back to California. I'm a California girl originally, so I may see you guys in person in August. So I'm planning a trip in August for a couple weeks, and this is just a way for me to explore the community. And I belong to another Unitarian, the same, the Huff organization when I lived in Colorado. So I agree with Bertie about the essential workers, and I try to wake up every morning and at least say 3 things I'm grateful for, and that kind of starts my day with a good, remembrance. Get the good vibes going. But I have been super grateful during this time that I've been able to continue my college degree. I was going to college. I am going to college. I gone back for my my degree, and was so excited to be out in the world, doing this and meeting the other students. And COVID hit, so most of it's been on Zoom, and it was mixed feelings, but I am so grateful for Zoom too, like Pat was saying, and it really and I could be with you guys here today. So thank you. Nice to meet you all.
Yay. Hey, I hear myself. I just don't see me yet. This is Mandy from her bedroom because the audio isn't working in the living room. And I just wanted to chime in and say how grateful I am that I've been able to have my mom down here in Eureka during the entire pandemic. And we're getting ready to move her to Georgia to be near my brother. We have another week. The last week of July, we're going up there to finish packing up stuff. But I am so grateful to be here with Jeff and my balcony with the flowers on it, and my cats and my good friends that have helped me through all of this. And I've enjoyed being able to Zoom not only Redwood Caregiver Resource Center meetings, but also this church service and the one up in Salem, Oregon. And I'll enjoy continuing that. I'm going to come back into the living room and keep watching. I just wanted to share my gratitude. And I don't know how I would have gotten through this pandemic up in Salem, Oregon during all this time. And I'm really grateful for where we live. And I love you guys. Can't wait to see you in person one of these days. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mandy. Joanne, what you got?
I appreciate everybody being able to be together, even when we can't come to the church. And I'm very thankful that you are all here to share with me and me with you. But I won't share everything. Surgery is in 10 days. It's going to be very simple, and I'll be glad to have it over with.
Do you have something you want to say?
Is it my turn?
Yeah, did you want to say something?
Oh,
Linda?
yeah. Hi, everyone. My sister Christine made it here after many, many months of planning and case management and all kinds of things. And she's here, and I'm just so happy. We're not doing the video thing very much because we're both in our pajamas. But thank you to everyone who supported me and Christine through this process. I love you guys, and I'm going to go back to muting. Thank you. It's been quite a journey, and it'll continue.
Thank you so much, Linda.
Yeah, thanks for the beautiful music, Annette. Wow.
So much gratitude. I'm already starting to feel it. What's up, Sue?
Well, I'm grateful that with this format that I feel connected with Ursula. Even though we don't see her face, but somehow we know she's here.
If you're listening, Ursula, we're giving you shout outs. All right.
And that reminds me that there are several people who have not been able to come to fellowship for longer than that, and who have been included by this format. And I think that's amazing. And I know Joanne, I don't know where you went, I can't see you at the moment. But that's true for her. If you can't drive and you can't get places and you don't have a ride, one's relationship is a different one. And so this is amazing. And I'd never have known you, Scarlett. I mean, I totally blows my mind.
Well, shucks. Thank you so much, Jenny, and thank you, everyone. Yeah, I think this is a good point to move on to our next question, which is kind of an interesting one. Excuse me. Let's take a moment to contemplate this. Have there been times in your life where you were surprised by gratitude, where the gratitude just like hit you so hard that you didn't know what to do with it? So let's sit with that, and I want to hear from each one of you on this, because I know that this happens to everyone. If you don't feel comfortable sharing, you don't have to, but I know for me, like, I was so surprised by the amount of gratitude that happened when I got COVID back in November. Birdie showed up on Thanksgiving with a dinner for me that Joe had cooked, and Sylvia had showed up with lemons and some vitamin C packets, and so many people just like came to my rescue when I couldn't leave the house. And I remember just like not knowing what to do with all of this like gratitude, because people were being so nice to me, and I'm like, what did I do to deserve so much, you know, niceness and that gratitude of like getting something for free just for being yourself, just people helping you out because they see you're down, and that they just sharing that love wherever you go. And so that's like what immediately popped into my mind, was just like knowing how busy Birdie is doing everything and still made time to like drop off Thanksgiving dinner for me and my boyfriend when we were sick. Like, it still makes me want to cry sometimes. So thank you. And yeah, what surprised does anyone, I'm gonna start calling names. Valerie, you want to go ahead?
Start my video.
Is someone in there speaking besides me? Okay. I just felt completely overwhelmed with gratitude when I was staring through the neonatal nursery window at my daughter-to-be, Navara. I took a flight. I was told by the adoption counselor, don't expect this to work out. And Pat had gone ahead of me because I had developed a strange, surprising case of summer pneumonia. But she was a day old, and I looked at her little face and I burst into tears. I was just so overwhelmed to imagine that this would really happen, that this would be my daughter. And it did, and she is. So that's something that really fits that scenario. Whoops. Sorry about that.
That's beautiful. Jenny. Chris, you want to go?
Yeah, a few days back, my other half's dad is at his end stages at Froedtert Hospital in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I have a bad back, so it's hard to drive, so I had to make several stops. And I took my other half there, took her mom, did some stuff, came back home. And then, I don't know, it seemed like a lot of things were going wrong. It's all of a sudden I was like, well, I'm glad all that worked out. Then I got a migraine headache. And then I was in the kitchen and I bumped over this big glass. It had about 16, 20 ounces of water. It smashed, poured on the floor. So I cleaned that up. And then I started eating my mashed potatoes and my back tooth broke off. So, I know. And it was kind of like, I can't remember that movie years ago. I can't remember what it was called. But years ago where everything went wrong. It was back in the 60s with Jack Lemmon. And at the end, Out of Towners, yeah. And the Out of Towners with Jack Lemmon. But I'm not going to lie to you, I was very bitter. And I went, even through this morning, really hating the universe. And even saying that. And I come here and there's gratitude going on. And all of a sudden now I'm starting to go, yeah, Chris, it's just a tooth. Yeah, look at how lucky you are. And it's so thanks to you that shift is going back. I'm getting out of that negative mode. So thanks, I appreciate it.
Birdie?
Yeah, Joe and I just got back from a UU trip to Alaska, and there's so much gratitude in my heart for all of the people in all of the different fellowships who, everybody on the trip and everybody who was hosting us all had to be vaccinated and all. And these people that we did not know having us during this time in their homes and feeding us and taking us places. It was superb and a whole wonderful sense of community. So I'm grateful for that and grateful for all of the nature and wonders that we saw while in Alaska.
I think we were talking about surprised by gratitude. And for me, that's been sort of with me. And it's mostly on the outdoors. And it could be, I'm just walking along a trail or just looking at something or other. And boing, 3 turkey vultures came over my head. It's like, whoa. And suddenly it's like, wow. And I'm gone. I couldn't tell you how long I was there. I couldn't tell you how long, I couldn't tell you how I got there. I couldn't tell you anything. And the feeling about that, sort of when I came back, if you know what I mean, because I can't tell you about what it was like when it was happening, because I was so completely in it. But that business of coming back and realizing, oh, I'm standing on the trail, it's like, it's a visceral, unbelievable experience. And that is common for me, and I can't, and increasingly common. And that is a staggering gift. I'm going through some horrible medical stuff right now, and people have, I was going to say, come out of the woodwork. Well, it's not out of the woodwork. They're right here. But, there'll be 1/2 inch worth of conversation, and they will offer me something that I would never have asked, or they will just do it. And it's like, I'm in tears while it's happening. I'm just so grateful. I can hardly process it. So that's what I have to say about being surprised by it. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm hoping it continues, because it's like, geez, talk about free gifts. Oh.
Hi, Jenny. Mandy's back. I can't see myself, but I can hear it in the other room. So I know that I'm speaking to y'all. I remember the time that I got breast cancer, and I couldn't, Jeff wasn't there, and my parents were across the country, and in 10 minutes time I went, okay, God, thank you for breast cancer. But I realized I had stayed sober, and I was grateful when I quit drinking, of course, and I still am 29 years later. And I remember being grateful for, there's so much to be grateful for, but that was the one that really zinged me. I'm bipolar disordered. I'm dealing with all these things, and then I get hit with breast cancer too. And instead of being mad about it, I recognize that I can't hold anything in. Anyone that knows me already knows everything about me, and they're going to know that I'm a breast cancer survivor. And by being grateful in that moment, it reminded me of that early sobriety where I learned that peace and thank you is the strongest prayer. To say it in the same breath, because I am accepting that I have breast cancer and that God is going to see through it. That's my belief, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm so grateful to be here. My cat Mingus was just cuddling me, and he took off again. And I'm going to go back in and sit where I can see everybody, but.
Thank you, Mandy. I think we got most of that. Definitely. I'm wondering if Paul and Rick, do you guys have anything you'd like to share? You don't have to. No pressure. Or Bob.
Thank you for reaching out and including us. And I think we're new, but we already feel comfortable enough that we would speak up and share if we had something to share. Right now, we're just drinking it all in. So thank you for making us feel that welcome.
You're just being surprised by the gratitude right now.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Bob, we haven't heard from you. Did you have anything you wanted to say? No. All right. Well, then let's move on.
Did you just say, I don't know if you said me, sorry.
If you want to share, please.
I've been listening since the beginning, and I just joining you visually now, but I wanted to say that something that came to my mind was a moment I had volunteered at a summer camp about 5 years ago that my son Trevor worked with, and I was teaching beginning ukulele, and there was this one trouble kid who was just always racing around, kind of making trouble and being very difficult. And he signed up for my class. And after the class, and I don't know, he had sort of a frown on his face the whole time, but he wasn't too troublesome. But this next day, he ran to me and he said that he was to ask me about how to buy a ukulele. And he was probably about 8 years old, I think. And so I talked to him about talking to his parents, and he was so excited. And he came to the rest of the week and just kept asking me questions, and he would carry my ukuleles for me, and he just completely transformed. And I wasn't sure if the kids were really getting into it. Oh, to tell you the truth, nobody signed up for my ukulele class. I was a new counselor. They signed up for all the cool things, like going on hikes and playing games, and so they had to put kids into my ukulele class that were from because the other classes had too many kids. So that's why I just didn't think anybody was going to be into it. But this one kid, he was just so happy. And at the very end of camp, when his parents came to pick him up, he came running to me and said, "They're gonna buy me a ukulele. They're gonna buy me a ukulele." And then there's been, and that surprised me. But there have been many moments, and just yesterday I had a moment where somebody gave me gratitude for singing with them or singing to them. There was another time when that year, so many of you know that I was accidentally a fundamentalist Christian for a year in my mid-20s. And during that year, I was up in Eugene, and we sang, the church I belonged to sang at a mission. They did this, monthly mission thing, and I sang Amy Grant songs. And later, like a year later, when I snapped out of it, I was thinking, oh gosh, I sang those. The thing I didn't like about the mission is that they made them listen to a service, and which I was a part of, before they could eat. Like all these really hungry people were sitting there and kind of forced to sit through this hour-long thing before they could eat. And I just felt that it was so manipulative. But anyway, a year goes by, I'm snapped out of it. I'm back to my usual atheist self, and I'm in line at a grocery store, and a young man stopped me and said, "You were the one who sang those songs at the mission." And I said, "Yeah." And he said that it had touched his heart so much. I mean, they were all about God and Jesus and, nothing I believed in anymore, but he got a lot out of it, and it just helped flip my judgment of myself, of that whole situation. And I just feel I'm so grateful for my parents who brought home a ukulele when I was 9 years old from Hawaii, and all the folk musicians through the 60s that led me, and that just giving other people the gift of music is a powerful thing. And I'm really so happy and grateful to be able to do that.
Thank you, Sandy. I'm very grateful for your music. And thank you, Bob. I'm very grateful for your music too, especially during this time when we haven't been able to sing together. At least I can sing along with you guys. And that's fun.
Yeah, I'll say something. I'll say, can you hear me? Yeah. So this isn't probably a very popular opinion, but it might not be all that uncommon either, is that the world's on fire. I'm really horrified watching the news. And yeah, I know the news is skewed towards the negative. And and there's a lot of good going on. But I'm pretty horrified by the world and what the human species has created, and our prognosis, you know. And I know we're all going to die, and I don't know what happens after that. So, and I don't live in that place either. I live for the moment. What can I do right now? What's good right now? What impact can I have that's positive? And I think that's where this gratitude thing is fitting in, that I'm grateful for the pasture I see out my kitchen window. That's such a blessing. God, I'm just trembling inside right now saying all this, but because this gratitude thing is it's just like, okay, let's just pretend everything's great, and it's not. It's horrible. But how do I get through the day? And I flash back this last year, 15 months, I flash back to the scene on the Titanic. The string quartet just played their last number, and they know they're going down. And they say, it's been a pleasure, gentlemen. And they all turn and walk away. And is that what's going on here? I don't know. It feels like it sometimes. I love making music. It's the best thing I can imagine doing with my life right now, because it does impact other people. And so, yeah, thanks, Sandy. I'm with you 100% on that. And smiling at a stranger and wearing a mask, even when I don't have to because I'm vaccinated. In the gym, you know, I go to the gym and I wear a mask. I'm scared in there. It just, like I said, it feels like the world's on fire in so many ways, and I don't feel good about the outcome, but I'm gonna keep making music and keep smiling at strangers and keep wearing my mask. So thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, Bob. I do appreciate what you had to say, because we don't want to fall into that place of toxic positivity. Never want to do that, you know? I really appreciate you bringing it up, and, you know, it's all a big picture, and some parts of the picture are beautiful and other parts not so much. Yes, toxic positivity, the ultimate oxymoron. All right. Well, thank you all so much for all of your beautiful words. It's really been amazing to hear what you all have to say. I'm going to play a quick little closing hymn so I can run over there so we can hear our chalice extinguishing. So thank you all so much for this beautiful discussion that we've had. And we will be having another discussion next week. It's a little bit more centered about it's not gratitude, this is gratitude. I think it's more centered around just like how we're coming out of this pandemic and how we're feeling coming out of it. That scared feeling, that grateful feeling, just all the feelings. So we're doing a lot of feelings talking this month, guys. But I look forward to seeing you all next week. And here's some Leah Morris with our closing hymn, and Pat will give us our chalice extinguishing. And then Annette will play us out with Go From Here in Peace. So, oh, Pat's already up there. All right. I'll see you guys in a second.
We are drawn together by a belief that how we are in the world, who we are together, matters. Now, as we leave to walk the meditation path out this way, let's sing together as Annette plays. We're going to go now in peace, like the kids used to do, but the one that is, may the spirit of love surround you.
All right. Thank you all for joining us on our first hybrid service. That was our meditation walk. Here, I'll turn it towards me so you can actually see who's talking. Thank you all so much. We'll see you again next week. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you. Is there one music? That was huge. That was almost as big as that Canadian vaccine.
Two.
Oh, pardon me. I'm sorry.
No, you don't want to.
Yay! Yay! It happened. Yeah, Chris, I'm glad you can see this from so far away. The takedown crew.
You didn't take a picture of the group. You should have taken a picture of the group.
I know.
I thought of it beforehand and then I didn't, I spaced it out.
That's why we have next week. You got that, Pat?
Yeah, I just don't know where it goes.
I'll just put it up that way.
Okay.
Since usually we'll find a place. Here's our sanctuary. Good, except for my audio coming through to you guys. But other than that, it was perfect. I would say. Okay. All right. There's Annette. Goodbye, Zoom. Goodbye, Zoom. There's Pat leaving and there's Annette. Yay. All right. We're going to leave now.